Ronin, the absolute embodiment of the inner weeb in all of us in Titan form. An absolute blast to play, a little bit difficult to learn, but very powerful when mastered, I would imagine. So you see me here using the sword block ability. It's able to, well, block incoming fire. It prevents a lot of damage from coming in. There you see the arc wave. I'm trying to figure out the max range of it, and if I could have ranged that guy who was, getting into and out of his Titan, but was just short of the range there. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but what it does do is it stuns, just like an arc grenade, so it slows an enemy down, it obscures their vision slightly, limits their turning speed, it just makes it very difficult for them to track you and to shoot you back. So it's a very strong engagement tool or disengagement tool, but it's not really something that you want to use when you're trying to deal max DPS to an enemy, unless you're out of rounds in your primary weapon and you're not in range for a melee strike. Then you can mix in an arc wave, but generally this is a utility power and not so much as a straight up aggressive, like, deal damage power. But as you can see, Ronin is capable of quite a lot of damage once you're hitting critical hits with that shotgun. But it's going to be very important is that you're getting as much crits with this thing as possible, because if you're missing crits, you're not doing enough damage. Like, you need to be hitting crits in order to make this Titan's damage up close and personal really, really frightening. Here you're just going to see me really quick hop into and out of the Titan. I just wanted to show this off. In LTS now there are batteries that spawn all around the map. There's like 2 or 3 that spawn on each map, and they are neutral, so your job is to, well, I guess your job is to kill the enemy team still, right? But you can choose to interact with the batteries. If you think that it's safe enough for you to get out of your Titan, you can get some free core charge and healing on your Titan. Just pop the sword core here. This isn't the best application of it ever. You'll see a better usage later, but just wanted to give you, a little bit of a first taste of it, right? So you pop the sword core, you immediately recover all of your spent dashes. I don't know if it recovers your phase dash. I didn't pay close enough attention to see if it does that. I would imagine no, but maybe it does. But it definitely replenishes all your normal dashes, and in addition to that, it speeds up the recharge rates of those dashes. So this is basically Dash Core Junior. So instead of like dashing like for free constantly, you dash much more cheaply for a long period of time, and you also get to use the powered up version of the broadsword. Very, very powerful. If memory serves me correctly, it takes between 3 and 5 swings to kill an Atlas class Titan, so the Ion and the Tone take just a few swings to kill, but that's not a lot of time, right? So if the enemy is not able to kill you right away, you're going to just slice right through them with the broadsword, probably, just as intended. Very, very powerful ability, very fun to use, especially once you realize the mechanics of how it works. It's not just the sword. You're getting that dash benefit as well, which is extremely important and is going to make this Titan ubiquitous in CTF. It's just like running a Strider in competitive CTF in Titanfall 1, or any form of CTF, even if you're playing pubs. You want to have at least 1 or 2 Striders running around with dash core ready, so you can do the Titan caps with pilots carrying flags. Very important to do, and it's going to be nearly as powerful this time around, and possibly even more powerful with the inclusion of phase dash. So looking forward to seeing how that plays out in CTF. I had one little short usage of it in a CTF match where I was running away from Drew McCoy like insanely using the pilot phase shift ability, which you can check some other videos on my channel to learn more about that ability, but basically makes you invincible for a short period of time. I was running away from Drew chasing me for a good 15, 20, maybe even 30 seconds, just running for my life using that ability, and a friendly Ronin managed to catch me while I was jumping through the air at one point, and when I was really, really weak, and then phase dashed me an extra time just to keep me alive that much longer. And it's just a really, really powerful ability if you're able to use it cooperatively with your team like that. But as you can see here, with getting back into the Ronin himself, it's the overall abilities. Look how quick I was able to close in on the Titan. Once I realized how the dashing mechanics on the sword worked, like I was able to dash like 2 or 3 times, pop the core, dash more times, and just cover the ground so fast to get in on him. Like, it was insane. The primary weapon here, the lead wall, does have a very, very limited range, so you will see your shots coming out of it actually disappear after a relatively short distance. And here's another cool clip, just hopping right through Game Stater's ultimate like that. Like, that's just the power of Ronin, the power of phase shift. And also there's these round-winning replays now, which is really, really cool. I love this inclusion for Titanfall 2. I wish that it was in like every round-based game mode, but right now, as far as I know, it's only in CTF, but it's something that I'm really happy to see in the game. It's just a really cool hype factor to show off your really cool moments, or to show off some hilarious fails where like somebody is just flailing around and can't kill anyone, and everyone in the lobby gets to make fun of them because they both suck and can't kill each other. But really cool inclusion in the game. This primary weapon, like I said, got to be hitting those crits to make it really powerful. Sword block is infinite, but very good. You're going to be using it a lot. As you can see in the gameplay here, I'm trying to have the sword up and blocking whenever possible. You know, if I'm not trying to move as quick as I can, and I'm not within range to do damage to someone, I'm always just holding that sword up to block to keep walking in on them. It's just a lot of pressure on an enemy, right? If you have a Ronin walking in on you with a sword block up, you have to devote a lot of time and resources into that Ronin to actually do appreciable damage, because it's almost like he's like quadrupling his health bar as long as that thing is up. It's just mitigating so much damage. Arc Wave, again, I have 2 charges here because I have a Titan kit that allows me to have 2 charges. You don't always have that, so that's something that you have to choose. I chose that over Ricochet on the shotgun, so that is just one of the kits that you can choose to buff your Titan, but up to you to see what all the options are once the final game releases. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the Ronin clips. Take care.